So maybe we can you can just go through some of the questions of graded or PPA which you feel are like difficult. We can do that.
Yeah. We can go like any questions. Yeah, that is totally okay. And
Sir,
yeah,
sir, actually, I'm facing little difficulty in week 11 because shall I tell you the practice assignment question number, sir? Because it
yes,
will
yes,
help me to
yeah,
understand.
sure. What question it is?
1 minute, sir. I'll tell you.
Week 7, right? You're talking about
Week 11, sir.
week 11. Okay.
Week 11.
We have two
Question,
practice assignment, 1 and 2. Which one?
question number 9.
Question number 9 in practice assignment 11.1.
I think.
Is it?
No, 2. Practice assignment 2.
Okay.
Yeah, my confusion is related to option number 2 and option number 3. As per question, option number 2 is correct, but in many cases, what I am feeling that means I'm getting confused that in which for other cases also what should be the criteria to make it, because the first block is is okay.
The first block is clear, right? This
Yeah,
one is clear, right?
It is clear, sir. I
Okay.
hope you understood, no, my problem.
Yeah. So you are not able to understand this this if block in the single sentence, is it? Is that it?
Yes. When because in many cases, what I found that if in this case it is written 1 if 1 mod of 2 is equals to 0. But in other option also, in other question, I found that the if statement comes at the back also. So how I can identify that this is
Okay. Yeah. I'll explain. Okay, I'll explain what's the difference between both. Okay, because I think you did not get the difference between both. Okay, I'll explain that. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is okay. Let's just forget about this for a minute. It's going to loop for I in range of n. Okay, it's going to loop over for I in range of n, and what's going to happen is the value is going to be 1 if I percentage 2 equals 0. Okay, the value is going to be 1 if I percentage 2 equals 0, else it's going to be 0. Okay, the value of this list, right? The value of the list, it's going to be 1 if I percentage 2 equals 0, else it's going to be it's going to be 1 if I percentage 2 equals 0, or this is not true, right? If I percentage 2 is not equal to 0, then it's going to be then the value then the list element, right? It's going to be 0, just like what we had here. Okay, this is for I in range of n. The second one what's going to happen is it's going to be 1 only. The element is going to be 1 throughout. That is, the list contains only the elements of 1. So the list is going to contain only 1. Okay, for I in range of n, if I percentage 2 equals 0, L0. So this for I in range of n, if I percentage 2 equals 0, this is for the I condition. Here we are not talking about the element there. We are talking about I. So wait, I'll just explain. Actually, this throws an error. Okay, I will explain this by running it through the VS Code. Okay. I hope you got my point. So the first one is the second option is for the condition of the element of the list. Okay, the second one is the condition for I. We're talking about the condition for I. Okay.
Sir, I can't able to understand the second one. First one.
You're not able to understand what?
No, second one.
Yeah. That part I'll explain. Okay. So let me print L here. Okay, let me print L. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir.
Okay, sorry. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the last option.
Okay.
Wait, one second. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, let me give 5. Okay. And the answer was 111. Okay. The answer was 111. Like generally it should be looking for a range of 5, right? It's
It
going to
should,
look for it is going to look for all I values. Then the list L should be having 5 elements. Forget about what the values of the elements are. Okay. The list L should have the length of 5, right? But what happened was it has only 3 elements, because for I in range of n, it will only loop for it will only loop through those I values where I percentage 2 equals 0.
okay.
This is like this is exactly similar to this one, right? See, while
This might be for 0, 2, and 4, right?
yeah, what?
This
Yeah,
might-
yeah, yeah,
0, 2,
yeah,
and 4.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll explain that. So what we are doing is, if I percentage 2 equals 0, right? Then we are doing this L dot append of 1. Okay. So this line number 2, right? It is exactly similar to this 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. Okay. If I percentage 2 equals 0, then only we'll append 1. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Understood, sir.
And
Sir,
the other one is, that is why we should not have else. That's why we should not have else. Okay. Because this is just the condition for checking which I values to run, right? And there won't be the else part, right? Because the else part will not run at all. Okay. Because here we are not like assigning values, right? Like did you get what I was saying? Why the else part should not be there?
okay, if we put the else part of just now you have typed, so in that case also it will not show the value, right?
Yeah. Okay. So this just for the case of like we are checking for what I values, it should append this value in 1. Okay. That's it. All right. But the
Okay.
first case is, but the first option is, I mean, first in the sense like for you, second there. What we are doing is we are appending 1 if I percentage 2 equals 0, else okay, let me just print this. I'll remove this. Okay. So we are going to look for all I values in range of n, and the value which we are going to append to the list is it is going to be 1 if I percentage 2 equals 0, else 0, else we are going to append 0. Okay. So in this particular case, irrespective of what the I value is, we'll append some value. Okay. But the value which we are going to append, that depends upon the value, the I percentage 2, whether I percentage 2 equals 0 or not. Okay.
Okay.
It's clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is clear.
Yeah. So let me just continue.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
sir, can I also ask one question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, like last time we did some questions from the item pool, one assignment which you gave us, like a mock test we did in this live session. Na?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had a doubt in a particular question, the list one, in which we were taking the X min and Y min one. So please, sir, can you explain the logic behind that? Like I was not able to understand the logic.
Okay.
It will be really
I'll
helpful.
explain that
for
in a
this.
minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question from.
But before
Victor.
that, is this okay?
Yes, sir. It is okay.
Is this problem clear?
Yes, sir. It is.
This dot is clear, right?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
I have a question from Vic 10, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take one at a time. Okay. I'll take
Yes,
one at
yes,
a time.
yes.
I'll answer that item pool question. Okay. And after that, I'll come to Vic 10. Okay. So give me a second. Let me open that item pool. Okay. So let me share my screen. And can you tell me which question you are referring to? Okay, in the item pool one.
Okay, sure. So just give me a second. I
Yeah,
can maybe tell you.
I shared my screen. So you can just tell me.
Okay, so not problem one, sir. Like it was in middle of something. Like I guess 16 was the question.
16.
Yeah, I'm not exact, but I feel that 16 was the question. Yeah, 16.
Okay. Let me show it. Not this one, right?
No. So 16.
Just stop me. Go there. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll just stop.
Not this one.
Not this one, I guess.
Explain why.
Yeah, sure. This one. Only rest all are the same parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So define do something. L x min equals to y min equals to L of 0 for x comma y in L. Okay. If x is less than or equal to x min and y is less than or equal to y min, x min comma y min equals to x comma y count equals 0. Okay. For x comma y in L. X min is less than or equal to x and y min is less than or equal to y. Count plus equals to 1. Count equals to return x min comma. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here what we're doing is it takes a list, right? It takes a list and each element in the list is a
Yes,
tuple.
sir.
Okay, is a tuple.
Yes.
And then for x comma y in L, so basically the first and second element of the tuple. Okay, if x is less than or equal to x min and y is less than or equal to y min, both should happen. Okay, both should happen. X should be less than or equal to x min and y should be less than or equal to y min. Then x min comma y min value should be this x comma y, right? Okay. Now what we are doing is count equals 0 for x comma y in L. Again we are looking to the same elements of it. If x min is less than or equals to x and y min is less than or equals to y, count plus equals to 1. So what does this say to you? So basically we are just counting the number of occurrence of this minimum values. Okay. So
Okay.
So,
So sir, like my basic question was like, I am able to understand the code for sure. Okay. But can you just skip to the problem 11.2? Maybe I can just 11.2 will do. Yeah. Okay. So what I meant to say over here, like for example, our first element is 4, 10. Okay. So our x min and x min will be 4 in the starting of the loop. Okay. Y min will be 10. Am I correct?
Right.
Okay. So for x comma y in L, so for our first x will be 4, right? And our second y will be 10.
Can you repeat?
What I mean to say, when we are starting our loop. Yeah.
In this point, right?
So for our first x, no. After this, we initialize our x min as 4 and y min as 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we are looping forward, like for x comma y in L, so our first value of x will be 4. Am I correct over here?
Yeah.
X will be 4 and y will be 10 for sure. Okay.
Right.
And they both are equal. So basically x min will already be equal to x and y min will be y, right?
Yeah.
So this won't change anything about the first element.
Right.
So
right.
when we go further, so
Uh-huh.
now it is saying for x comma y in L. Okay. So our again x is turning out to be 4 and y is turning out to be 10, right? Or am I missing here something?
See here x min y min. Yeah, the x is turning out. So in the second iteration, the x will be 3, right, and the y will be 8, right? Right.
So can you tell me why? Like I am just messed up here.
We are just looping out to the elements of the list, right? See,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and let me just run it in the VS Code.
I checked it in the compiler. It gives the perfect output, but I am just not able to understand the logic. Like what is happening that I'm missing?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just print this x comma y. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Like then you know
Yeah,
what
sure,
the
sure.
value,
That
what
will
the
do
value of
better.
x
Yeah.
comma y is, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
then you know what's happening. Okay, so I'm not printing anything. I'll just give some list. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir. Maybe you can just copy it from there.
Okay, so
Yeah, that will do.
it has 0,6.
Okay.
So as you could see here, I have printed the values of x comma y, right? X comma y, it has given me
Okay.
112206. Okay, got it?
So, sir, like, what I mean to say is
Yeah.
like, we took our first value as 1, 1. Okay. So
Mhm.
our x is already equal to x min, and okay, I got it where I was doing. Okay, I was just doing a blender mistake. Actually, I was just doing when x was already equating to x min, I was just breaking the loop and not going further. So that was the point where I was doing wrong.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope this is clear. We'll move on to the next one. Someone asked for week 10, right? Week 10
Right,
some
sir.
question.
Yes, sir. Question number 8 or 9. Anyone you can explain?
Question number what?
8 or 9, sir. 8.
Okay, question number 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Sir,
Code is common, you know, sir. 3 to 4
in
questions.
that mock test question, sir.
Week 10, week 10, practice assignment.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Question number 8, right?
Yes, this one. Yes. So the
Okay,
code is written above, sir. Code is written above.
Can you repeat?
Yes, sir. This one.
Yeah, so x equals ratio of 5, 24, x star divided by 5, x star print in 4. Okay. They're asking for the output of the code, right?
Yes, sir. I'm saying code is written above, sir. There is a common code for problem number 6 to 10. Yes, this one. This one is the expert. Yes.
You should get a rational of 4, the extra rational of non denominator. Okay, the first one is numerator, second one is denominator, right? So we have 5 as numerator and 24 as denominator, extra divided by 25. So it basically gives start. Okay, so self dot denominator equals to self dot denominator start j. Okay, self dot reduce on this reduce gives for I in range of minimum of self dot non comma self dot denominator. Okay, yeah, comma 1. Okay, minus 1. Okay. Yeah, okay, right. So this is just like reducing it to the smallest possible values, right? So this reduce is just doing that. Okay, reducing it to the smallest possible values. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this one, right? So let's start printing 4. So it's initially it was 5 by 24. We are dividing it by 5. So what's going to happen is it's going to be 1 by 24, right? The answer is going to be D. What was the doubt there?
Sir, how to decode this kind of problem? So I was more interested in understanding the approach.
What?
You know.
What? I'm sorry. Your audio is like.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah. You are audible.
Yeah. I wanted to know, sir, what should be our approach when we are, you know, addressing this kind of problem. So I was not able to crack it.
Okay. What should be our approach? Okay. So the first thing is, you should understand the overall view of like what is happening in the problem. Okay. So clearly, what's happening here is the first thing should be right. We are defining a class of rational. Generally, the rational number will have the numerator and denominator, right? So that we are taking from the user. That part is there. In the print info, we are just printing the we are printing that whatever rational number we have, right? Okay. So we are printing that rational number in the print info. That is, if the self dot denominator equals to 1, then we not print it like 4 by 1 or something, right? We can just print it as 4. So in the else part, that is if the denominator is not equals to 1, then only we need to represent it in the form of rational, right? So that's what we are doing here. This reduce is to reduce the, like we have the, let's say like we have the rational number of 10 by 100, right? 10 by 100, and we know that we can reduce that to 1 by 10, right? 1 by 10. Okay, so this is what is happening here. For I in range of minimum of self dot num comma self dot denominator, which basically gives like minimum of the numerator comma denominator. Okay, and each time we'll start with this value. For this for loop, the end value is 1. Okay, and the step size is -1, right? So initially it's like let's say in this example of 5 comma 24, right? Initially numerator is 5, denominator is 25. After dividing it by 5, the rational will be 5 comma, like the numerator will be 5, but the denominator will be 24 into 5, right? Correct? So now what's going to happen is it's going to reduce. It's when we call this reduce, so it's going to loop from for I in range of minimum of self dot num comma self dot 10, which basically means like minimum of 5 comma 24 into 5. The minimum of those values is 5 only, obviously.
120.
Right. So since 5% 5 equals 0 and 24 star 5% 5 equals 0, right? We are going to divide both of these values, right? And then we are going to break it because we have divided with the highest number possible. That's why we are breaking out of the loop. Okay. Is this clear? Is the reduce part clear?
Yes.
Okay. The other parts are like self-explanatory. The only thing you should understand is let me tell you, like, even if you do not understand of like what's happening here, by looking at the reduce, you can assume that like you could kind of get the point of like, okay, you have a rational number. If it is a form like 5 by 24 into 5, we are going to reduce it to the small, like the form of a by b, where a and b do not have any common divisors, right? So that's like we are going to reduce it to that form. So 5 by 24 into 5, that's going to reduce to 1 by 24, right? So actually you need not completely understand the code here, right? Like if you know the basic math, you can just assume, you can just directly get it that okay, this is what we are trying to do. Okay.
I was completing the loop, sir. Going by that logic, I was able to solve question number 6. Question number 6 I was able to crack, but when two or three functions came together, then I was not able to solve it. And sir, here I have one more doubt, sir. Like whenever we are defining a class, right? Say for example, I am defining a class student, right? And my first function is init function. So I am passing 3 attributes. One is self, and then say for example name and marks, right?
Name and marks, yeah, okay.
Correct. And then while I'm creating an object of student class, say for example, I'm creating an object Anish. So So am I supposed to pass both the attributes, or I can pass only one attribute also at that
No,
time?
actually it depends. It depends actually. Like if we have some default values, right? Like let's say like in this particular case define, right? Define init self comma num equals to 1 and den equals to 1 if you have, right? Then you need not pass all the values. But then if you do not mention, if you do not have some default values, then you need to definitely pass those argument values. You cannot pass only one. You need to pass both.
Okay, so all the arguments I'm supposed to pass, right?
Yeah. All the arguments has to be
And
passed.
I'm not supposed to pass self in that case, right? I'm not supposed to pass self. I'm supposed to pass only two arguments. Say, for example, name and marks are there, so I will pass only those two.
Yeah. So the self part you need not have it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Like while you're trying to define the object, the self will not be there. So as you could see here, nowhere we have mentioned self. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, enter mock questions 16 and 17.
Question 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are just looked at it.
Sir,
Yeah,
will we
this is all
have
right.
the same number of questions as mock in the interim?
No, we are going to have like 15 questions, not 22 questions. We'll have nearly 15 questions.
Okay, because this was not doable in 90 minutes, sir.
Yeah, but I'm assuring you, you'll be able to do those 15 questions in 90 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, even you'll be having like some extra time to revise and then to check again.
Any insight about
Okay.
degree of difficulty level, sir?
I'm sorry.
Any insight about degree of difficulty level?
Okay, difficulty level. So the difficulty level, it's going to be kind of similar to the quiz one. Okay. The quiz one, whichever difficulty level you got, it's going to be of same difficulty level. Okay, so what it basically means is there are going to be some easy problems. There are going to be like most of it are going to be some medium range problems, and one or two difficult problems you're going to get. Okay. Okay, so should I be explaining this?
Sir, enter mock, not this one.
Okay, no,
Not
no.
the 16 and 17.
Sir, is this
So, yeah,
different from that item pool mock?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is different.
this is different from the item pool now.
Okay.
So in this case, in case of change, when we are actually giving self comma var, is it, this is a question basically, is it because we are not giving self dot var, it's not considering that particular thing, is it?
Can I quit?
In this case, in the
Yeah.
change procedure, since we are, while passing the arguments, we are not passing it as self dot var, is it because of that it's not considering that var equal to new? It's
We are not
printing
passing
only
self dot var. Why we are not passing self dot var? Is it?
No. The answer of this question is old. It is printing old, right? It's not printing new. So my question was, is it because that we are not passing it as self dot var over here? We are not preceding that var while passing the parameter var. We are not preceding it with self dot. Is it because of that?
Yeah. Because of that one.
Okay, and then it's clear. The 17th one I'm having an issue then. Okay, in this case, I'm not understanding this A and B we are declaring, okay, and every time we are creating the an object of the class, so it should ideally go to the class twice. So it is going to the class twice and printing that this is a object message twice, but it's printing only this message. This is class message 1 and message 2 only once. Why is it that way?
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's because whenever we run this constructor, like we initialize the object, right? We initialize the object. It's going to run through only the constructor. It's going to run through only the constructor. But then when it's running to the entire code, right? So it's going to read this class and then it print like this is a class message one. Okay, both are like different. Both are different.
Okay, but just tell me one thing. This class test is first initially we have written the code, and when we are actually calling is A equal to test and B equal to test. That is actually getting executed, right? So when I'm executing a equal to test, it should ideally go and print the message class message 1, then go to the class message 2, then go to the instructor and type that this is an object message, then again come out, go to b equal to test, and again repeat those three things, no?
You're saying that like when I call this object over here a equals to test, it should print the first one. This is class message 1, and after this object message, after this class message 2.
No, I understood that it is first going to class. That's why it's printing message 1 and message 2 first. I understood that thing. Then it is going to the constructor and printing that object message. My query is, why when we are creating two separate objects, ideally it should go to that class test code twice. Then not really. How?
It's going to run like only once only.
Okay.
This is like universal one. This is like universal one. Like let me just show you this. Okay, so instead of having like give me a minute.
Sure.
Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I have not called like any constructor. Okay, like that is I did not define like any object there. Okay, I have just defined the class here. I just defined the class. Okay, let me run this code. It has printed hello.
Right.
Okay, so basically what's going to happen is this print hello thing. It's going to run irrespective of whether we call an object or not.
Right.
Okay, whether we define an object or not. So the same thing is happening here. The same thing is happening here. Okay. So when the code runs, right? So it's going to read the class first. So like it's kind of like
I got it.
The function definition, but there in the function definition it just reads it, right? It won't execute it, right? But in the class thing, except for that self thing, no? Except for the self thing, like where we require like passing like requiring an object, all the other parts, right, which are like part of the class itself, but not the object, that will be executed directly.
Okay, you mean to say since we have written those print statement outside that constructor thing, those are getting executed just while passing that thing, and when we are actually creating the object, it is actually calling the constructor and only constructor is executed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, just a quick reconfirmation about this question only.
Yeah.
Like in line number 2, print command is print message is there just after class, so it belongs to class, not to object, right? That is the reason why it is getting the second line. Yes, print this is class message 1, right? This belongs to class, not to object. Hello. That is the reason why it is getting printed on its own, right? Hello.
Yeah, that belongs to class. Yeah. This is clear.
And what about line number 5, sir? Line number 5, once again that message there, print this is a class message 2. Yes, sir, this one, line number 5, yes, this one.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah, this yeah.
I think, sir, there is some problem in my network. I will reconnect.
That also belongs to the class.
Sir, I think your network is facing some issue.
Mine or what?
Okay. Give me a minute. No, I think it. Hello, is it
Yes,
okay
sir,
now?
okay.
Okay,
Yes, it's
okay.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I think there's still some issue.
Sir, your voice is lagging. I think.
Voice is breaking, sir.
Yes, for me too.
Voice is lagging. Give me a minute. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Now it's okay.
Hello.
Again, breaking a bit actually.
Hello.
It is breaking, sir.
Lagging, sir.
Hello. You're able to hear.
It's the same issue. No, it's breaking.
Does anyone know how this dial-in works? Like rather than using your Wi-Fi or data, you can use dial-in. You can call from your phone, right, for this meeting?
Yeah, you have like international pack.
But it should be toll-free, right?
Oh, I don't have idea about Zoom, but on Google and others like they.
Okay.
Yes, exactly what he said. Even if you actually your like Geo result should have enabled even access to call international. Even though that is free.
No, I think there is a call me feature. Like you will dial that number and they will call you back, and that way you will be connected. I'm trying to explore more. Yes, it is their call me feature. Like if you have any scheduled meeting, you can do this call me. It will call you and you can connect to audio without any cost. But it should be paid account. That I think this IT account is.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now it's clear, Mr.
Yes,
Ram.
sir.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Yeah, I'm extremely sorry. So there was a power connection. Like there was no power connection here.
I have a query, sir.
And
Question from item pool questions.
yeah, okay. 1 second. Like I have joined from my mobile. I'm not able to join from my laptop too. Okay. So you guys need to be sharing your screen. Okay. Just give me a minute. No. So can you just share your screen? Are you guys?
Can I have a doubt, so can you share my screen so that I can start with my session?
Wait, give me a second. Give me a moment. I'm facing difficult here. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Sir.
hear.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So the thing was, I need to be made co-host again to start sharing. Okay. So I am not able to share right now. Okay. But then I'm extremely sorry for that. But like if you could ask some questions regarding tips or like any other things while I was made co-host again, it will be helpful. Okay. Like
So because we can in the meantime, can we share our screen or do we have to wait for?
Yeah, the thing is normal participants are not able to share screen, right?
Okay.
I'm also a normal participant right now and I'm not able to share my screen. That's the problem. Okay.
Mr. Ram, I was asking one thing. Like
Yeah.
this audio, it always creates problem. So for Zoom, you can join it from the like audio call.
From the audio call?
Yeah, like you can get call back from Zoom on the selected time. And for India, it is covered. I just saw it. They have toll-free number.
Okay.
And since you are using this premium one, you are right paid one, so it's available to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be great.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Okay. So thanks. I'll try to do that.
Please.
And then meanwhile, if you have like general questions, you can ask. Okay. Or else like questions that can be like answered without sharing screen, right? You can ask those kind of questions. Okay. While I was made host again.
Recursion, just you can give some idea, like without sharing screen something.
The recursion, right?
Yeah.
See, the only thing with respect to recursion you need to understand is
Base
like
condition.
the logic for it. Like how do we? The first thing is where is the recursion part is coming, right? Where the recursion part is coming, that part should be very clear for you. Okay, that part should be very clear, very much clear. Without that, you will not be able to answer. Okay, and the other one was how do you end the recursion? How do you end the recursion, right? You can't keep on like doing the recursion infinitely. There should be a point where you should be stopping, right?
Right.
So the terminal condition should be there. Okay, the end condition should be there. That part also should be very much clear. Okay, if you are like perfectly sure about both of these things, then you can implement the equation, and then you could check for step by step whether I'm implementing it correctly or not. Okay, whether first thing is whether recursion is happening or not, that should be checked, and the other one was whether the recursion is happening as you wish, or whether that's not happening properly. Okay, that part also should be checked. Both the things. Okay, this will happen for the normal problems. It won't be an issue like calculating the factorial, okay, the sum of n numbers and so on, right? Those things are kind of like straightforward. But others it needs to be checked. Okay, others like where you need to use the and or true one, right? True and function like f of n and f of n minus 1, something like that, right? There you need to be like more careful of like whether you are in the end condition correct or not, and whether you're defining your function correct or not. Okay, with respect to recursion. This part you'll be understanding it slowly, but from the exam point of view, like recursion will be kind of like clear only, because here you're not writing the recursion, right? You're just looking at the recursive function code, if at all there is a question there, and then you just like think of like what's happening. Okay, writing a recursive function is difficult, but understanding the recursive function is not difficult. Right. So I think for the end term, the recursive functions, if there are any, right, it's going to be easy. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And Python there is into first half also and second half also. Like morning shift also there is a Python on Sunday, and evening shift also Python is there.
Yes.
It will be similar or different total?
What?
It will be similar, like similar questions or totally different?
No, it's going to be different questions. We can't be having the similar questions.
Right.
Okay. So
For the
yeah, I was made co-host again.
For
now you can share. Yeah.
For the end term, that will be like online proctored exam also for that, for Python.
No, there won't be an proctored exam. Okay. So the programming exam will not be there. It's going to be only the theory exam. Okay. It's going to be only the theory exam, not the programming. The two programming exams which were there, they were already done. They were already completed. Okay. Yeah. So like I can share my screen now. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Sir, I have doubt in mock test question 9.
Okay. So for those of you who are worrying about the end term, right? Like how difficult it's going to be. You need not worry. Okay. Look at the basics of it, and then if you looked at the question, right? So the questions are going to be similar to it, except that there might be more concepts from the dictionaries, list, classes, and all. Okay, more concepts will be there, but the way we ask questions, it's going to be the same. Like we are going to give you a piece of code, and then like we'll ask you what the output of it is, and all right. So just like how we saw in the practice assignment and the grade assignment, okay, it's going to be easy. There won't be long piece of code which you need to analyze. It's going to be short piece of code only. Okay, like if you're having doubt, right, go over the piece of code step by step, and then see what's happening. Over each iteration. You'll be able to get it. Okay. Yeah. One person is asking doubt.
Yes, sir. Mock test question 9.
Mock test in the portal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What SFL returns after the execution of above code, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. D equals 0 for I in range of length of L. If L of I not in L of okay, the first elements, then y equals to 1. Else, if L of I not equals to L of I minus 1, y equals to 1. Else y plus equals to 1. If y is greater than d, z equals to L of I and d equals to 1. Okay, so let's just look at like what's happening here. Okay, so for d equals 0, initially we have this d equals 0, and then like we are looping it. This L is a list. This L is a list. Okay, the L is a list for I in range of length of L. If L of I not in the first first I minus 1 elements. What that basically means is if L of I is not there in the first I minus 1 elements, like it's kind of like it does not repeat. Okay, L of I is not repeating until that ith position, you could say. Okay, but not after that. After that, we do not know about the I plus 1 to the remaining, but until the I minus 1 elements, it does not repeat. Okay, if it happens, we'll have I equals to 1. We'll have I equals to 1. Else when we go to else, what that basically means is L of I, that element is already there. I mean that value is already there in one of the first I minus 1 elements for sure. Okay, that's what it means. So if that is happening, and if that repetition is happening with the I minus 1 and I, right? That is, if L of I minus 1 is equal, if L of I minus 1 is not equals to L of I, then we are having this y equals to 1 again. If this is not the case, which basically means that L of I and L of I minus 1 both are not same, and but L of I is repeating somewhere in the first I minus 1 elements. Okay, if that is the case, else we have this y plus equals to 1. Where are we defining y? Give me a minute. Okay, y plus equals to 1. If y is greater than d, then z equals to L of y, d equals to y. Give me a minute. Until this it's clear. Else y plus equals to 1. If y is greater than d, z equals to L of y and d equals to y, return z. Is consecutively included? No. The last element which is consecutively included maximum number of times in the list shall no.
So I have a query here, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the third line, if L of I not in L colon I, so
right.
So which means that what exactly means if it is not present in the
it basically means
that is we are removing the list items from I index till the last, right?
No, we are not removing any element. We are just checking whether L of I is already there. Let's say like you have the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say you are at I equals to 4. You are at I equals to 4. What we're basically checking is we're checking whether L of 4 is there in whether L of 4 is there in L of 1 to 4, which basically means that whether that element is already occurred in the list or not, already occurred in the previous indices of the list, like
Sir, I can figure out what Y is, but how is Z being updated and what's that?
that part is okay. The y part is okay. Y plus equals to 1. If y is greater than d, then we are going to have z equals to L of y and d equals to y.
In if condition, we are checking the first element with the last element, right?
Can I repeat?
In if condition, we are checking the first element with the last element, right? L
In
of
the
0.
condition here.
No.
I
else,
think we are
in
checking
else,
for the
else,
consecutive
yeah.
elements,
First
right?
element is
Here, no, we're just checking the we are checking
it's
the
I
ith
minus
element
1, right?
on the I minus 1 element. That's it.
Yeah,
So
it's I minus 1 means
when I equals
I
to
is
0,
0, then I minus 0 minus 1 is L of minus 1, right? So it's first element and last element.
Yeah, when I equals 0, yes.
but when it
Yeah,
comes to 1, it comes
if
like
it is equal, then Y is incremented.
Yeah.
Then we are checking against the first element of the list, right?
We are checking again with the.
We are always checking the.
No, we are looping out to the entire elements, right? It's not just the one element. We are looping out to the entire elements.
Sir, the inner else condition means that the previous element is same as the current element, right?
This one?
Yeah. When we enter the nested else. And why are we updating that value then?
Yeah, which basically means
that consecutive elements are equal.
Yeah. So what's happening over here is, yes, you're correct. So the consecutive elements are equal, and that's why we'll be updating this y value. So it's going to give the last element which is consecutively repeated more than one time. The first element which is consecutively repeated more than one time. The first element which is consecutively repeated maximum number of times in the list here. Yeah, this is what is gonna. This is what we are doing. Let me just explain it here. Because it's like we have the elements like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, something like that. Okay. So we have let's say L equals to 1, 1, 1, 2. Everybody sees screen, right?
Yes, sir.
And then let's say I have 3. Okay. These are the values. So what we're checking is initially, basically it's like we're just counting the number of consecutive values. That's it.
But sir, it is given like first consecutive numbers or last consecutive numbers. So how should we figure that out?
What the first consecutive numbers are the?
Or the last consecutive number. In the options it is given.
The first element which is consecutively repeated maximum number of times. The last element which is consecutively repeated maximum number of times. If y is greater than d, right? If y is greater than d, we have, right? Only when y is greater than d, only we'll have z equals to L of y. If your y is greater than or equal to d, then we will be updating the then our z will be the last element which is consecutively repeated maximum number of times. Okay, since y is not greater than or equal to d, it is just y is greater than d, it's going to be the first element which is consecutively repeated maximum number of times. Okay, so it's like let's just say we have this 1 1 1 and then 2 2 2 comma 3, right? So here y for the this one, right, that's going to be equals to 3. Okay, and y for 2 that's going to be also equals to 3, right? But what's going to happen is when y equals to 3, d is going to get updated to 3, right? D is going to get updated to 3, correct? D is going to get updated to 3, and then later when it comes to 2, y is again going to be 3. Let me just do it this way. When we have when y equals to 3, that is for 1. We will have d equals to 3, and then z equals to z value will be L of y, which will be 1. So later one for the element of 2, we have again y equals to 3. But since y is not greater than d, the z value won't get updated and d value also won't get updated. So the z value will still be 1. Okay, which basically means that we are just checking the first element which occurs maximum number of times, not the last element which occurs maximum number of times, like which gets repeated consecutively maximum number of times. Is that clear?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Can you explain one more?
Yes, sir. I'm
Sir, can you explain one more?
This one,
Yes.
the first element and the last element.
Can you just show the code explain, sir?
Sir,
What-
Why it is
Like-
first and last?
Yeah, it's like let's just say this.
Just to walk through the code, sir. Code is not.
It is like we have this. Let's say we have n number of students. Okay, n number of students. We have like arranged in the alphabetical order. And then we have the respective scores. Okay, I have Ajay here. Let's say Ajay is one person. And his corresponding marks is 100 marks. Others, please mute yourself.
Sir, can you please?
Yeah, so let's assume that we have number of students, and then we have the corresponding marks. Okay, we need to find out the students. We need to find out the topper. Okay, we need to find out the topper, and then what we do is we have the high marks. We have the high marks whenever we come across the marks which is marks of a student which is greater than this high marks, then we'll update the student name. Okay, so in this particular scenario, let's say I have Ajay is a student who got 100 marks. Okay, and then let's say we have Karthik who also got 100 marks. But the thing is, 100 is not greater than 100, right? 100 is not greater than 100. Okay, the first time we got 100, our name that is a topper will be getting updated to Ajay. But the next time we come across 100, even though Karthik also might be topper, since Karthik's name did not come first, okay, our topper will still be Ajay, even though Karthik got the same number of marks. The same thing is happening here. The same thing, even though there could be other elements which got repeated maximum number of times, which got consecutively repeated maximum number of times. Since we are checking for y is greater than d only, not y is greater than or equal to d. Okay, we'll have only the first element. Like which has that which got repeated like maximum number of times. Okay, the first element that's possible.
Sir, why is y being updated to 1 initially in the first if condition?
Okay, so that basically means.
But that means that it is not yet present.
Yeah. So let's say like we'll walk through the iterations part of it. Okay, let's say when I equals to 1. Okay, when I equals to 1, I'll have 1 is not repeated before, right? Because there is no list at all. Okay, so y will be equals to 1. Okay, and then let's say I go to second iteration. Okay, 1 is L of I, which is basically, we have 0 here because we have the 0 based indexing. Okay, when I equals 0, y equals to 1. Okay, when I equals to 1, L of 1, which is already 1. Okay, L of 1 is already present in the previous list. That is, 1 is already present before. So now y is going to get updated to 2. Okay, when I equals to 3, sorry, when I equals to 2, we have y equals to 3. Okay, then when we come across 2 here, 2 is not present previously. 2 is not present previously. That is this particular statement. If L of I is not in L of until the sliced elements until I, okay, then we'll have this y equals to 1 because we need to count the consecutive elements for that particular element, right? L of I, right? So we'll start from 1 and then like we'll check for the later ones. Okay, is this clear?
Okay, so every time we are checking this and coming to 1 because we are wanting the consecutive elements. So we are
consecutive elements of that particular L of I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions?
Sir, if we take a unique list of a unique number elements, then it will throw an error.
No, it won't throw an error. It will just give the first element, right? Because.
No, sir. What
Yeah. Right. Correct. So it's going to. Yeah, it's going to throw an error. It's going to throw an error because Z is not a defined there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're correct.
Sir, I have doubt in question.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Item pool, sir. I was waiting for some time, sir.
One person at a time. Which question?
Item pool, sir.
Item pool, which question?
Studies item pool, question 3. Sir.
Question 3?
Question 3. So just wanted to understand what the question is.
This one?
Yes, sir. This one, sir. Yes.
Okay.
So, so the list of words it says that then I understand this one. Smallest collection. How do we know that smallest collection of characters to form a word?
Okay. Create a set name chars that contains the smallest collection of characters required to form any list in words. Okay. It is basically like, let's say, okay. Okay, let's say like we have 93 people here, right? In the Zoom call. Okay. In the Zoom call, yes, your name will have some characters, right? My name will have some characters. Similarly, others name will have characters. We need to find the we need to find the smallest collection of characters such that using these characters we can frame any person's name in this Zoom call. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? How do we do that? Let's say like what I will do is let's say I will assume that initially my smallest collection is null, nothing. Okay, empty list or something. Okay, empty list, and after that, let's say I come across I come across my name itself. Okay, Ram. Okay, Ram. So R is not there. R character is not there. R character is not there in me because initially it was completely empty. So I will add R. A was not there. A was not there. So I will add A. M was not there. I will add M also. Okay. So and then let's say like we have another person. Okay. Let's say we have Krishna Mohan. Okay. We have Krishna Mohan, CP Krishna Mohan. Until now, after I loop through my name, I have RAM. Okay. But in the Krishna Mohan's name, we have C which was not there, so I'll add C. P which was not there, I will add P. K which was not there, I will add K. But R is already there. R is already there because that name was already there in my name. Okay. I mean that letter was already there in my name. Okay. So I won't add R. So I need to add S I need to add. So in this way I'll keep on adding characters whenever I come across a character which is not there.
So now I got the large like what supposed to be achieved, right? So create a set name. So here we are supposed to create a set so that it will have the characters
Yeah.
Using which we can get all the other words in the list, right?
Right.
Okay, so but in terms of code, which of these? Because I was confused about which of these options will come to this. How to append? Whether append will not work, but
yeah. The append will not work because that method itself, it's not depend for set. And the thing is, chars dot add of char, right? The thing about set is does not have the repeated values. It does not have repeated values. So what happens is you can keep on adding the characters of like each of these 96 participants here. Whenever it comes across a character which was already there, it won't just add it. Okay. So it won't have the duplicate value. So what you can do is you can just keep on adding. Okay, without even worrying whether that character is here or not. So option A is correct. That's why.
So what if okay, so let's say we have a set created here. So obviously in the first case, we are looping through each word in the list.
Yeah.
And within each word, we are going character wise. That's the third line. That's clear, right? Okay. And then we are adding the char. So this char is getting added into the set.
Yeah.
Now, when looping through this, let's say I come across another word, and then there is a character which is already there. So what will this code do then in that case?
Yeah. Then it's not going to add it. Like you can think of it like it's going to add. It's going to add, but the thing is, since it was already there, it will be that element will be present only once. It won't be present like twice. Okay. So we are still going to get
not be added like a duplicate, or it not be added like a duplicate. Only single one will be there. Even if we are looping through, if it comes across that, it will not add it. That's the one.
Yes.
So the first one is correct. Okay. And how about the option C, sir?
Okay. Option C, long word we have chars equals set for word in words, long word plus equals to word for char in long word, chars dot add char. Okay. This is exactly similar to what we have done here now. See, basically, instead of doing for word in words, we combined all the words. Okay, we combined all the words and then we made it as like one big string. Okay, one big string which was named long word. Okay, long word, and from the characters of long word we are just doing the same thing which we have done in the option A.
Okay, so initially
it's
long word they initialize to empty space. I mean no space, and then for word in words long word.
Okay, I'll explain. Okay, I'll explain what's happened here. Okay, so it's like what we are basically doing is we are just adding the names of all the 93 participants which we have here, and then making it as like one big name.
One big string kind of.
Okay. Yeah. One big string kind of thing, and then for the characters in that particular string, we are doing the same thing. So basically, what we have is we have option A, which is basically same as option C. Okay. Instead of looping through for word in words, we are just looping through the big word itself. That word was formed by using the same thing. Okay.
C is also correct in this sense.
Yeah. C is also correct.
So this union function is available in which I didn't get this union method. The fourth option, union is available in which one, sir? Because it says chars.union, which means set should have a union method, right?
Yeah. The set should be having the union method.
So it will create a union of two sets, is it? We have to check that because. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So it's like basically we'll just combine the two sets and then make it as a it returns a different set, okay, which combines both the elements of the each set, and then okay. But what we are doing is we are just equating that to the chars itself. Okay, so the previous set itself it will get updated.
So if let's say I declare two sets and I'll just call this union. So it will create a union of a set and give me return a new set, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Generally we won't have these kinds of options in the end term, okay, because you might not be aware of the union, okay. Whatever methods we have, like basic methods only we'll use, the append one, split, range, and all those only we'll use, okay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, will there be any NATs also?
NATs will be there. NATs, yeah, 2 or 3 will be there.
Some of the methods like append cannot be used with sets, no?
Yeah, append cannot be used in the sets.
Like that, is there any other common mistake we'll be making?
The thing is, this is just like, I mean, it is not something that is like related to Python, right? I mean, it's related to Python, but it is just related to memory part of it. Okay, because let's say set, if you do not know that there is no append method, you might assume that there is an append method, right? Okay, since sets, you know that append method is not there. There is a add method. Okay, so generally we won't ask these kinds of options too, because that has nothing to do with your programming skills. It has just got to do with your memory power. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, in this one, can you please go to first problem?
First problem.
Yeah.
In this item pool?
Yeah, no, in the same question paper.
Okay.
Question paper.
This one?
No, not this one. There is another problem. I just lost the track of it.
Here? This one?
No, not here.
Okay, you can just find out which problem it is and then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, it's a simple problem, but it confuses. It's
okay.
Yeah, I'll just find it out.
Okay. So yeah, you just try to find out which problem you're having issue with. Okay. And meanwhile, I'll just take 5 minutes break and then we'll continue. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll continue later. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah, we can resume and yeah. Any questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, could you elaborate one of the recursion problem in mock test, sir? Question number 11 to 30.
This one, right?
Sir,
In this or the item code?
in this, sir, not item code.
Okay. So consider the following function that accepts a positive integer as an argument. N is greater than 1, n star star 0.5 equals to int of n star star 0.5. Okay. Written 1 plus. Okay. Let's say if n percentage to not equals 0. Written 1 plus f star of 3 star n plus 1. Else written 1 plus f of int of n by 2. Okay. And if n less than 1. Okay. Okay, so what this basically is checking is if n star star 0.5 equals to int of n star star 0.5, what this basically is checking is the first one I'm talking about, this one. Okay, this one. That is checking whether we have the perfect square root or not. Okay.
Okay.
Whether we have the perfect square root or not. If we have the perfect square root, okay, then what we are doing is let's say our n equals to 4. Okay, n equals to 4. N star star 0.5 is nothing but 2, right? 2 equals to int of this int of this 2 star star like 4 star star 0.5. Okay, so that's why it returns 1 plus f of the square root of it, which basically means that 1 plus f of 2. Okay.
Okay.
1 plus f of 2. That's what we do here. Okay, in the first step here, like okay, that part is clear.
Okay.
Condition statement whether checks n is square of any positive integer or not. Yeah, that is true. Okay. The other one is what is the value returned by f of
10,000.
Okay, f of 10,000, right? So
yes,
let's look at it. 10,000. 10,000, right? 10,000 is greater than 1, and the square root of 10,000 is going to be 100. So it's going to return 1 plus f of 100, right? Okay, 1 plus f of 100, and for f of 100 also it's going to return like what, 10, right? So the square root of 100 is 10. That is an exact integer. So it's going to return 1 plus f of 10. Okay, 1 plus f of 10, right? And 1 plus f of 10, I don't know what we have, 1 plus f of 10, right? So we have basically 2 plus f of 10. Okay, 2 plus f of 10, and for calculating f of 10, 10 is not a square of like any number. Okay, so basically we'll come here. 10% 2 is not equal to 0. That is also not true, because 10% 2 equals to 0. So we will come to this else block. We'll return 1 plus f of int of n by 2. So which basically means we'll return 1 plus f of 5. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So until now, what do we have? We have 2 plus f of 10, right? And f of 10 is 1 plus f of 5. So which basically means we have 3 plus f of 5, right? Clear? Until now we have this 3 plus f of 5. Let's go to 5 here. Okay, n is greater than 1, 5 is greater than 1, correct? So if n percentage is not equal to 0, 5% is not equal to 0, because the remainder is not equal to 0. The remainder is going to be 1. We are going to return 1 plus f of 3 star n plus 1. So which basically means it will be 4 plus f of 5 3 is 15 plus 1 16. Yeah, so it's going to be 4 plus f of 16, right?
Right, sir.
4 plus f of 16. Now 16 we know that 16 is equals to 4 square, right?
Yes, sir.
16 equals 4 square, so it's going to give 1 plus f of 4. So which basically means we'll have 5 plus f of 4, right? 5 plus f of 4, and f of 4 it will be 1 plus f of 2. So which basically we will have 6 plus f of 2, right?
Right, sir.
6 plus f of 2, and then we have what? In percentage not equal to 0. For n equals to 2, I'm calculating. Else return 1 plus n by 2, which basically means we have 7 plus f of 1. Okay, we'll come to this else block here. Okay, we'll have 1 plus f of 1, which basically gives the total value as 7 plus f of 1. Okay, 7 plus f of 1. Okay, and we'll have this now we have 1, right? N equals to 1, right? N is not 1 is not greater than 1, 1 is not less than 1, so it returns 0. So I think the total value for this f of 1000, 10,000, it should be 7.
7.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
I sent in
Thank you,
the
sir.
chat box the questions
Question 147 in this. Okay.
of that link. That is basically previous year questions. The first one, the first question.
This one?
No. Here we have to find out the foundation questions. It is common.
Which
Yeah,
one?
yeah, the first one.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, I opened it. Go to the end of this question paper. Yeah, somewhere close there. That's where Python comes in.
Okay.
It's a simple thing, but it gets confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one.
Question 1, 4, and 7, right?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, not of E1 or E2 is not equals to not of E1 and not of E2. Okay.
So, yeah, how to approach this one? Because it's every time you read it, you go round and round.
Okay. So what you can do is you can just you know this table, right? TT, TF, FT, FF and all.
Truth table.
Truth table?
Yeah, the truth table.
Okay.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do is you can write the truth table for it. The only possible values are this 4: true, false, true, false. Okay.
Separately for left hand side and right hand side, is it?
Yeah. So for the different values, you just compute what this value is, and then what is right hand side values. You just check whether they are not equals to or not. Whether they are not equals each time it should be happening. Like
not E1 means what? Not E1 means it's E2, is it?
Not of E1 means let's say E1 is true. Let's say E1 is true. Not of E1 is going to be false. If E1 is false, not of E1 is going to be true. Okay.
Okay. So false and false is true. False and false is false.
False and false is false. Only true and true is true.
False and false is false. And not false is true. And left hand side is also false.
Yeah.
False is not equal to true. That's true.
You're not going. Wait. Let me just show you this.
It's not coming right now.
Wait. Huh?
Answer is not coming right now.
Yeah. Wait. Let me just draw the truth table for you. 1 second.
Yes, please.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, we are able to see it.
Okay. So we have this. Let this be true here. True. False. True. And then false. Okay.
Okay.
So now what we need to compute is we need to compute not of E1 or E2, right? So let me just compute first E1 or E2. Okay. We could do it directly also, but we're just doing it step by step. So this is going to be true.
True.
Yeah, true.
False.
False, right? So not of E1 or E2, it's going to be now F.
False.
F.
Yeah.
F.
Yeah.
True, right?
Yeah.
So this is what not of E1 or E2. Okay.
This is the left hand side.
Yeah, this is left hand side. So now let us just compute the right hand side. So it's going to be not of E1 and not of E2, right? So it basically means false and false, right?
Yeah.
Which is false. Correct?
Yeah.
It is
V1
and not E2. Okay. This is false. And then this is what? False and true, which basically gives false, right?
No, true.
False and true, it is false. And for the and, right? Only both are true, then only it will give true.
Okay. Anyway, it's one of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So similarly for F and T, we have T and F. So we basically use false again. Only for this F and F, since we have not E1 and not E2, which basically gives true and true.
True.
So that is going to be T, right?
Yeah.
So this not of E1 or E2, it is equals to this not E1 and not E2, irrespective of what the value of E1 and E2.
No. But there is another comparative statement, left hand and right hand. There is a not.
Yeah.
Between left and right, there is a not equal to.
Yeah. This not equals to means.
How do we map that one?
Okay. This is like F is not equals to F. Is that true?
True.
Or right? F is not equals to F, false, right? F is not equals to F, false. True is not equals to true, which is false.
It's always false.
Yeah, it's always false.
Okay. It's without this truth table, I was trying to think of just mental mapping. I lost completely.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So other questions you want to look at it?
4.
Sir, in
Yes.
item 4, 4.2.
Yeah, we'll just discuss it, but then let me just quickly go through this problems.
Hello?
Yeah, I will discuss it. We'll discuss it. This one, right?
No.
This one? Superman, this one, right? This one? The problem who you are referring to?
Yeah. That's the one. Right, sir.
This one? So, okay. N equals to length of word, while n is greater than 0, cool equals to word of -1 plus cool. Okay. And n equals to n minus 1. Okay. So word of -1, what will that be initially?
M.
Initially M, right? What is word of -m? It is just the first letter, right?
No, n is the length of the word. It all depends on algorithm. So it's n.
Yes, first rate.
Word of minus length of n is the first character of the word, right?
Is it not word -9 for algorithm?
Let's just say we have the last letter is word of -1, right?
Yeah, the last letter is word of -1.
Yeah. The last second one will be the word of -2, right?
Yes.
Similarly, what will be the first character one? It will be a word of minus length of.
Okay.
That is why word of -1 will be the first character.
Word of -1 is the first character. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go for n-1, right? Let's go for n-1. Now it's going to be word of n-1. I mean word of minus of n-1 plus word of n, right? So which basically means we are having the first letter at the last. We are having first letter at the last, and then the second letter. Okay. We just do it like iteratively. Let's say I have the word equals to name. I have word equals to name.
Okay.
You are able to see the screen, right? Word equals to name, right? And then what will I have? I have what's that? Okay, cool, right? Yeah. Initially, cool will be equals to n. I mean, after the first iteration. Okay. After second iteration, cool will be equals to
n-1.
Yeah, a plus
n-1.
Yeah, I mean a plus n, right? Yeah, that n minus 1 is nothing but a, right?
Ah,
Here.
okay.
Okay. So which will basically give means it is equals to an. Okay. After that, it's going to be m. After that, it's going to be e. Okay. Are you seeing what's happening here? We are reversing the word.
Reversing the word, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But the answer didn't come like that. Algorithm.
Yeah, algorithm actually it's opposite. If you check it, it's opposite.
Can you scroll down, please?
The word of minus n is the first character.
What?
Word of minus n is the first character.
Yeah, word of minus n will be the first character, correct?
Okay.
First character of the output. Yeah, after the full word. Like when we do it after all the iterations, word of minus n will be the first character of full. So which basically means the last letter of the actual word is the first letter of this full word, right? We are just doing the reverse of it. Okay. You could see here Malayalam is a palindrome, that's why we have this option D is correct. Okay.
Okay, sir. Seventh question.
Which is this one? Is this one? Is it this one?
Yes. Yes.
So two students A and B are applied for companies C1, C2, C3, C4. Each student has a preference at the end of selection. A is added by company X and B is added by company Y. Here A prefers company C1 over C3. Okay. So here this is nothing but the preferred list. Okay, preferred list of A, and then preferred list of B is there, and then B actually prefers company 2 over company 1. Okay, because based on the index we are saying it. Okay, for any list smaller the index, greater the preference. Okay,
right.
But for company A, C1 is the most preferred company. I mean for the person is for the person
A is C1.
Yeah, C1 is the most preferred and C5 is the least preferred. Okay, for the person B, C2 is the most preferred and C3 is the least preferred. Okay, so as a selection is said to be stable if A prefers X over Y. So basically they got this both, right? I mean A was added by company X and B was added by company Y now. So what this basically means is A prefers X and B prefers Y over X. So it is like it is saying like let's say I got placed in Apple and then you got placed in Amazon. Okay, I'm happy with what I have, and if you're happy with what you have, then it is stable.
Okay.
I mean that is I don't want to switch to your company and you don't want to switch to my company.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that's what the question is. I mean now you'll be able to do it, right? Do you want me to explain it? Answers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have stable equals to if A dot index of X, which basically means we are getting the index of this company which A got, right? And then A dot index of Y, we'll get the index of this company Y in the preferred list of A, right? If A dot index of X is greater than A dot index of Y, which basically means X is not the most preferred, right?
Right.
So stable equals false. The other way for B also. If B dot index of Y is greater than B dot index of X, then stable equals false because B is not happy with this position. Okay.
Right.
If stable, we'll print stable. Else we'll print unstable. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Others, any questions? One person is asking it out, right?
Is it sounds like more of a CT problem, no? Not a Python problem.
CT problems or Python problems, right? Kind of. Yeah. One student was asking it out, right? Before.
Right. Thank you, sir.
One woman was asking a doubt. Yes. No questions?
An item pool of 4.2.
Item pool
4.2.
4.2. Okay. This one?
Yeah. It's looking for the shortest distance, right?
Can you repeat?
Huh?
Can you repeat?
It's looking for the shortest distance, right?
Yeah. Okay, let me look at it. Define absolute of cell products minus point x. Okay. Origin equals to point O. Points equals to, okay, we have defined some points. Value dot origin distance of point 1. Points of 1. Okay. For P1 in points. For P2 in points, if P1 dot display equals P2 dot display continue, I mean, which basically means that we are checking whether they both are like same or not. Whether the elements are, I mean, whether the points are same or not. We are continue as else d equals to P1 dot distance of P2. If d is less than value equals to d. Okay. Yeah. So yes, we are checking for the
Shortest distance, right? So it's in 0.12, it's the shortest distance.
Like we see within the points we are checking for the shortest distance, correct? We're checking for the shortest distance, correct? But initially we'll have val here, right? We'll have val here, right? What is that val? It is origin dot distance of points of 1, correct? So what is origin? Origin is 0, 0. Points of 1 is 0, 4. 0, 4. So value will be equals to 4, right? Initially.
Okay.
Initially value equals to 4. Okay.
4, yeah.
Now we should check for those points. We should check for those points, like where the distance between those 2 points within this list, whether it is like less than 2 or not, right? If it is less than 2, then our value will be getting updated to that particular value. Okay. So it's like the distance between, like what we're basically doing is we are just taking 2 points by doing like 2 for loops, and then we are checking the distance of it. Okay. So like 1, 2 and 0, 4 we are checking distance. I think that is the distance between them is 3, I guess. Yeah, it is 3. It is 3. So 3 is less than the value because value is initially 4. So now value will be equal to 3. After that 1, 2, 5, 6, it is greater than 3. So we need not check it. 1, 2, 3, 7, it's greater than 3. 1, 2, 2, 4. It is also equal to 3. It is not. So our value will still be 3. Okay. Moving on to the next point. 0, 4, 5, 6. It is greater than 3. 0, 4, 3, 7. Also it's greater than 3. 0, 4, 2, 4. It is the distance is only 2. Okay. So value will be 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Similarly, you can check for the others. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions here?
Sir, question number 14 in a mock test.
Here?
14 mock test. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yes, sir.
L is a non-empty list of distinct integers that has already been defined, which are the following recursive functions returns the sorted list in assembly model. Okay. So let's just look at it. Okay. Define sort of L if L is not equals to empty list. I mean, as long as it is not empty list, we'll have max index equals to L dot index of max of L. Okay. L dot index of max of L. What does that gives you? You know, right? Max of L gives the maximum element, and L dot index of max of L gives the index of the maximum element. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if so now what we have L of max of index comma L of minus 1 equals to
We are swapping the elements. I think so.
okay. Yeah. So we just swapping this last element value with respect to this max index value. Okay. Now what we are returning is we are returning L of minus 1 plus of sort of L of minus 1. Okay. Until now we are correct. Okay. Until now what we did is correct, but the way we are returning, right, that's not correct, because we are having the maximum element first, right, which basically gives the descending order, right, instead of giving the ascending order. Correct? Correct?
Max element is actually in the last, no? You are swapping it.
Yeah, we are swapping it. Yeah, max element.
Okay,
Max element is at the last. But what we are doing is it should have been sort of L of minus 1 plus L of minus 1. But we are having this L of minus 1 at the starting.
So sir, I think it will throw an error return minus 1.
Yeah. It throws an error. It throws. Yeah. Wait. L of minus 1 to the last one. It throws an error. It throws.
Yeah, because minus 1 is always the last element, and we can't slice after last element.
We can do that, right?
So can we do
minus if you do like range of
it will just give you the single element list only. That's it. When we start from minus 1, and since the minus 1 element is the last element, our list will have only the last element. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now what do we have? Let's look at second option. The first option is wrong because it should have been the ulta. Okay. And the second option is correct because, as I told, right, that ulta is here. That reverse one is there. Sort of L of this sort should be there first, and after that we should balance L of minus 1 to the remaining. Okay. So that is option B is correct. Let's look at option 3. Minimum index equals to, it is just the opposite of it. Okay, it is just the opposite of it. That is why option C is correct. Since we are trying to find the minimum value, okay, we are trying to find the minimum value, and then we are having a minimum value at the starting. That gives us ascending order. So that is why option C is correct. Option D is the reverse of the sort of L and the other one. So that's why option D is wrong. So basically A and D gives the descending order. B and C gives the ascending order. Okay.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay. Any other questions?
So for these kind of questions, we should how should we write them in A4 sheet and solve, or we can do it mentally, like which is time saving.
Which one?
For these type of questions, the best way to solve them is to do it on A4 sheet, right? Like take some value and do it on A4 sheet.
Yeah. You could do that. Okay. You could do that, or else if you could just understand what's happening there, you need not have in your write down paper. But then if you do not understand, right, what you can do is you can take a small list. And then you can compute the value. Okay. And then if you are sure that the same result will be there for the bigger list also, then you not check for the other list. But if you're not sure, check for the other, different inputs of list also. Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Any other questions?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir. Rotation of a matrix, sir. Overview.
Rotation of matrix over.
Sir, overview, sir. How to understand that?
It is like it depends, right? So first thing is you should know like without implementing it on code, you should know how the rotation will occur. Okay, how the rotation will occur, what will be the output? What will be the output? Output you should be seeing right on paper. On paper without using programming, like without generally let's say like we have this transpose, right? Transpose of a matrix, right? You
Yes, sir.
you generally know what the transpose is, right? First thing is you should
Yeah.
know you should know by formula or something else, like how to do it. How to do it, okay? On paper. After that we could try to do it like how to have that have our idea into the piece of code, how to transform that. Okay, if you do the first part correctly, then you could do the second one easily. Okay,
Okay, sir.
try to do that part only. Okay, and then even while you're checking code, you check for that formula thing. Formula in the sense like that same thing only, whether that rotation that particular formula is it implemented correctly or not, whether the transpose is implemented correctly or not. Okay,
Okay, sir.
because while you're writing a piece of code, you could go through so many problems. But the good thing about this theory is you need not write the code, right? All you need to do is you need to read the code. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you could just do it. Okay,
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, another doubt in the question number 4.
question number 4 of mock.
Yes, sir, mock is.
Okay.
Sir, what's the difference between option number 2 and the 3? Because here we are using a break loop inside a if statement, another in the outside of it.
This one. This one, this
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happens here is whenever it goes to else block, it will break out of the loop, irrespective of what this if condition is. Irrespective of what this if condition is, if it goes to the else block here, it will break. This loop will break. Pakka. Okay, but here what happens is, in the C option, it should go to else, and then it should go to the if block within the else option. Then only it will break. Otherwise, it won't break. Okay, otherwise this for loop will continue. Okay, that's
Okay,
the
sir.
difference.
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. Any other questions? No questions? Okay, so what I would say is, like, do not panic. Not panic. Like, you'll be able to get at least 50% of marks kind of easily, I guess. Okay, easily. If you practice enough, you'll get 50% of marks very easily. Okay, and have your time, like, do the easy problems first. Do not go for the big problems. Okay, like, because let's say like you solve 50% of the problems in the first half an hour, you'll feel more relaxed, that okay, I have 1 hour to complete the remaining. Okay, so go for easy problems first, and after that you can go to the remaining difficult ones. Okay, do not try to solve it like, okay, I'll solve first problem, second problem. You need not solve it in order. Okay, you can come back to those questions, difficult questions again, and look at them later. Okay. You will be receiving hall tickets soon, I suppose. Yeah, you'll be receiving hall tickets soon. You need not worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions?
Trying to solve that ascending descending order question on paper, but I think I'm still making some error. So if we have some time, if you could take a small list of maybe 3-4 elements and help us understand how that is executed, that would be very.
You're talking about this mock test problem, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me the number of it? I forgot.
I think it was 14.
Okay. So we have, let's say L equals to 1. Do not take already existing sorted list. Okay, I took existing sorted up. Okay, so let's say this is our list. Okay, actual ascending order list should be something like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us look at what this option is doing. I mean, what the first option is doing. That code is doing. L is not equals to empty, correct? Max index equals to L dot index of max of L, which basically gives what? What does it give? It gives the index of this 6, right? Index of 6, which will be 2. No?
Right.
Correct? So that index, what is the variable name there? The variable name is max index. Okay, max index will be equals to 2. Now L of max index and L of minus 1 values are reversed. So now the list will be equals to 1, 3, 2, 5, 6, because we exchange 6 and 2, right? Correct? Now we are returning. Now we are returning what? L of minus 1, which is nothing but 6 plus the remaining elements. That is sort of 1, 3, 2, 5, right? This is the first option, correct?
Okay, right. So it's adding the largest element in the beginning of the list.
Yeah. So obviously now you might be understanding. You need not even go for the remaining iterations. You can just see that you get it as like 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, because the next time it's going to give 5, and after it's going to give 3, 2, 1, and all, right? So this is going to be the value of the first option. The second option is the ulta of it, which is nothing but this plus
Right. Keep adding at the end.
yeah, right.
Correct.
So now you can see that this will give 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Yeah.
The other one was just that now we found the maximum value and then used it, right? The other one is we find the minimum value and then we are using it. That's it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. If there are no other questions, we can wind up the session. The time is 9 o'clock, but if you have questions, I'll answer.
Sir, please, once question number 17.
In the mock test?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after this question, we'll wind up. Okay. This one.
Yes, sir. Why fourth option is incorrect?
Okay. This let me write some piece of code here. I have explained it previously. One student has asked this question. Let me define. I'm defining class. The class for this is I'll just print hello. Okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm printing hello. Let me define some constructor. It won't take any arguments. Okay. Okay. I'm not even now I'm not even like calling the I'm not even defining object. Okay. So all I'm doing is I define a class. Let me run this code. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You could see here it has printed hello India. Hello India. I did not even define an object. I just defined the class. Okay. Using this class, I did not even define any method. But it has printed this hello in India. The reason is this print hello and print India, they belong to the class. They belong to the class. They do not belong to the object. That's why they'll be printed first. They'll be executed first. Okay.
Okay, for execution of this code, we don't need to assign a class. Don't need to create any class.
Yeah, object.
Okay, means this code will always be executed.
Right.
Class
Yeah. So that's why this class message one will be printed first. This class message two will print later, and after that this object message will be printed. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir. I was thinking first this message one and yeah, okay, sir. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks everyone. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All the best for you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All the best for your exam. Okay.
One question at last, may I ask you?